Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Outside Line podcast. My name is Jacob Barker. Today, I am joined by Chris Shoemaker and Mason Wood. How are you guys doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Hanging
Got some
out.
racing to talk about.
Absolutely.
We got plenty to talk about today. Very, very chaotic weekend. We had a lot happen at Talladega with NASCAR over the weekend and some other motorsports that we will be talking about today. But first off, I want to kind of address something that we will be doing with the podcast from now on, is that we are going to be splitting our episodes into two parts from now on. Part one will be releasing on Tuesdays, and part two will be releasing on Thursdays from now on, just so, for consistency stakes and, just so the episodes aren't so long as they have been in our beginning days and weeks prior. So that with that out of the way, let's just go ahead and get right into it, previewing the F1 Grand Prix this weekend at Azerbaijan. Great racetrack, one of my favorites on the circuits. Last year's winner, Max Verstappen, of course. Do we see anything changing with that this weekend?
No, it's either going to be Perez or Max. I really don't see anything. But will Charles Leclerc be stupid again, as he said on the radio a few years ago and crashed
in the castle section?
In the castle section.
Well, what's funny about that is that if you guys remember back in lockdown in 2020, just right in it was either the beginning or the peak of lockdown that year, pretty much most of the F1 drivers on the grid, and it was the young guys that they were competing in F1 2020 races together, and Charles stuffed it in the wall again on one of his streams. They're all like, Charles.
I really hate that track.
Charles.
Another thing I'd like to add about it is this is an unusual time of seeing Baku. It's normally right after Monaco, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So they shifted it back.
And Baku's only been on the calendar for what? 6-ish seasons or so, 7 years, somewhere around there.
Since 2016.
Yeah.
Since 2016. Okay. And so it's definitely been after Monaco every year, I think. And this is early in the season. We're only 4 races in to the F1 calendar, and this is early for Baku being on the schedule. So I'm wondering if the temperatures, the different temperatures through the seasons and the months will play a little bit of a difference in the race compared to what we've seen in years past. Because, as we said, Baku is usually in very late May or early June. So it'll be interesting, and that because we're in late April right now. So
it's still pretty cold in Europe right now.
Yeah,
so it's going to have an effect because, normally by May they're in their 70s, something like that. But they've still been sitting in the upper 50s, mid 60s. So it's going to be a little bit chillier. It's going to be a challenge for a lot of the drivers.
You know what? Let's see how cold it is right now in Azerbaijan. Let me use the Googles.
Use the Googles. Funny how the cold comments are coming from the man who lives in Arizona, 50s and 60s.
I didn't say that was cold. I didn't mean it like it was cold. I'm just saying that it's it's colder than the 90. It is 87 in my hometown at this current moment of recording at 12:14 in the afternoon. We are supposed to have a high of 90 every single day this week. So it's
and yet you're wearing the hoodie.
Yeah, it's comfy, and I'm not leaving the house today, so there's no.
That's completely fair.
As of 3:14 on the day we're recording this, which is the 24th, it is 64 degrees right now in Baku.
Hey, that's nicer. That's nicer temperature than in North Carolina right now. So
yeah,
go for it.
Although it wasn't rude, like 20 degrees when I was there last.
Yeah,
It's just downright hateful.
yeah. Let's not talk about that. Mother Nature hasn't made her mind up as to what she wants to do here.
But
Well, and for
I would-
reference,
oh no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
for reference, according to Google, in June it is because normally they race like what the first week of June in Baku.
Yeah, right around there.
So the high usually in Baku is about 82 in June versus the high in April is about 62. That's a 20-degree swing.
And you know
That's big.
the car's tires are very sensitive too.
Right.
So that's
Yeah,
going to
so-
play a big part.
Yeah, especially with the different compounds. So it'll be interesting to see what compound can go the farthest, or handle it even better with the different temperatures from now for this race. So expecting Red Bull dominance once again. Wouldn't be too shocked to see Max or even Sergio win again. Heck, it may not even be surprised. We may not even be surprised to see Fernando win this weekend because they did have a great run. What was it, 2021 with Sebastian Vettel? Now, granted, there was just a little bit of luck involved with that race with Lewis just sending it into the first corner, but may not be surprised to see Fernando go on and get another podium or even win at Baku this weekend.
Yeah, I think he would need a little bit of luck to get into the top two, but Baku for the most part is a very tight track, so anything can happen. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there's a red flag. I can't believe there hasn't been a red flag at the castle section.
Which is funny because that's exactly where Charles stuffed it.
Yeah, you'd think there would be like all kinds of crashes and all kinds of blockages right in that part of the track, but other than Charles, it's been pretty tame there of all parts.
Well, only one way to find out, and that's on lap 1 on Sunday. It's just Baku is kind of like Monaco, but with Daytona type speeds. That's the best way I can put it. Just because it's so tight and technical, especially in the castle section and before the section that leads to the front straightaway. But the front straightaway is so long, so fast. They approach 215, 220-ish, pushing that even with DRS. So it's a fun track. It's a very, very fun track. So it'll be interesting to see who can come out on top of this weekend's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Wouldn't be surprised if it's Red Bull again, but if it isn't, maybe Aston Martin with Fernando that'd be cool to see because it's been a long, long time since we've seen Fernando win a race. At least, man, I don't know, 10 years maybe.
Since his Ferrari days.
At least.
Yeah.
Mm.
Let's look that up on the Googles too.
Yeah, I think it's been at least 10 years since Fernando has won a race, which is crazy to think about considering how much he has accomplished in the sport.
2013 Spanish Grand Prix.
So exactly 10 years.
Wow.
It's been longer than I thought.
Just think about how everything has changed since then. He's run like 3 Indy 500s since then, and has gotten more podiums this season. I guess it feels like he's gotten more podiums this season in that entire since that 2013 win. I know that's not true, but it definitely feels like it because he's been on such a good run this year. But one thing I kind of want to bring up. Have you guys seen the rumors of Fernando and Taylor Swift possibly dating?
I saw something about that. My girlfriend talked about it.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook just a few minutes ago about it, but I didn't read it.
So it's kind of funny because Fernando obviously knows about it. He posted a TikTok earlier this morning, and everyone's freaking out about it. Fernando posted something on his TikTok to to a Taylor Swift song. So maybe the rumors are true, maybe they're not. But I don't know.
What an
You never
odd
know.
couple.
It is a very odd couple.
Is
I
she
mean,
isn't she like touring in America right now? Like it's a
she was
very
just in,
random time.
she was just in Flagstaff last month, wasn't she?
She was she started her tour out here in Glendale, and it was like 2 weeks
Glendale.
after the Super Bowl, and it was, my God, there was too many people. It actually was right when I got back from Italy, and so when we were trying to get back on the flight, there was that we were trying to get back home from, we were in a layover in New York, and there were some girls from New York that were flying to Phoenix just because they wanted to be there for the opening show. And like tickets were like upwards of $500, $600, $700. And so my girlfriend, like, she wasn't able to get tickets. She was really upset, and I wasn't able to get them for her, unfortunately, because that's a lot of money. And so she's like, I should ask them, like, if they're excited for the concert and stuff. I was like, no, don't do that. They're going to call you poor or something. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
There were some very rude people that were going to that Taylor Swift concert. And I'm so glad I didn't end up on one of those flights that was the pilot started singing. Have you seen some of those TikToks where the pilot starts singing Taylor Swift and then the whole flight is singing Taylor Swift?
Yeah,
I would cry myself to sleep.
God, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, hey, just let me lay in the cargo area and I'll be happy.
Mason, I know you wanted to go to that Taylor Swift concert.
Oh, totally, dude. I was so excited for it. I was so sad my girlfriend didn't get the tickets, man. It broke my heart.
Yeah, we
You're
heard
the one
about
that had a broken heart.
Honestly,
Like,
I just wish there would not have been as much traffic. There was so much traffic, and there were so many people here, and I just wanted to cry.
I can imagine you with like a Taylor Swift hat and the tour shirt, and just sitting there waiting in line for an autograph.
That's actually one of my best friends. He loves Taylor Swift. I think she was like his like third top most listened to artist this year on his Spotify, because he just absolutely he blares Taylor Swift, and I think he actually, like, I don't think his girlfriend listens to it, so I think he's the T Swift fan in the relationship, which is very interesting.
You don't hear that every day.
No. My girlfriend doesn't normally like the music that I listen to. I put on like Tyler the Creator, and she's like, "What on earth are we listening to?" I'm like, "It's what I like. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey.
Sorry, it's not T Swift,
Yeah, right. So enough of that.
Moving on.
Moving on very quickly. I want to talk about something that was very interesting that happened over the weekend. There was no. We had a Formula E Grand Prix take place over the weekend, and something very interesting came out of it. There were protesters on the track while the grid was forming up. Why they decided to do this at a Formula E race, at all things, I don't know. But my thought is that I think they thought that they were at a Formula One race and not a Formula E race, because a Formula E car is all electric, non-carbon, doing nothing to the environment. While if you're going to a Formula One race, you're going to have your carbon. It's still hybrid. You're going to have your electrical power. You're going to have your, like I said, you're going to have your carbon emission. So, like I said, why they decided to do this at a Formula E event, I don't know, but that's my thought, is that they just thought it was a Formula One race. So,
Well,
hey, let's get this attention out of the way,
yeah.
and that's kind of what I think that happened.
Well, according to jalopnik.com, they said that it was actually like they were in Berlin and there was already a series of protests going on. So it was just kind of like a wrong place, wrong time sort of ordeal. It wouldn't have been, they basically said it wouldn't have been any different. The actions would not have been any different had they been hosting the Olympics, the Masters, the World Series. Still would have been the same outcome. It's just, it looks bad on them because that's an electric racing series that you are like interrupting there. So it just looks bad, but it's just like a wrong place, wrong time sort of deal, probably. And there's a lot of climate stuff to be protested these days, I guess.
Yep.
And I want to emphasize that these are climate change protesters protesting an all-electric racing series.
Yep.
Which that don't make sense. That just shows that the protesters themselves, they might be a few bricks shy of full load.
Hey guys, we got breaking news. So remember our little
Taylor
deal
Swift
with
is coming to town.
No. Remember our little deal with NASCAR 75, the list NASCAR 75, and I hate to interrupt the segment. Carl Edwards is named on the list.
There he is, Carl. It's a Walking Dead reference for those who don't get it. But oh my God, it's about freaking time they put my man on the list. Does this mean we may see a public appearance of Carl Edwards? Would that happen?
I think we are. I think we are at Darlington.
Yeah, he has to go. He has to go, right? And then we're going to get a message like the day before that Edwards couldn't make it?
Yeah, exactly. He's busy on his
sailing around the world or something.
Yeah.
He's a farmer, isn't he?
Yeah,
isn't he farming these days?
He's farming or something.
He's Mahindra tractor made, man.
But yeah, breaking news per NASCAR Twitter. Carl Edwards named to the NASCAR 75 list.
Hamlin was announced too.
Yeah, we've got a bunch of drivers announced to the list. We will get that in our NASCAR segment. But that was just breaking news on the spot that I wanted to get to because I was so excited to see Carl Edwards on the list. Now I got to think of a new driver to put on the list.
More breaking news. Pitbull says he's going to title his next album Trackhouse.
I did see that. That's actually really cool. I might just listen to that from. So, who knew that this turned into a music podcast all of a sudden?
We're talking about a lot of music today. Happy Monday.
Hey,
Music Monday.
Happy Monday.
Theme song.
Hey, I do my best in editing. That's where copyright infringement laws comes into play, of course, but let's not talk about that. So let's talk about IndyCar real quick. They are going to Alabama this weekend. Great road course down there. Underrated road course, in my opinion. Last year's winner was Pato O'Ward. Good chance for him to get his, I don't want to call it mojo back, but he can finally get into victory lane this season after having not really a rough start to the season, but he definitely could have won at least 2 races so far to the season and be the points leader.
He's had a little bit of bad luck.
Yeah, so I'd keep my eye on Pato on Sunday for IndyCar, and that'll be interesting to see because Birmingham is such a unique road course. It reminds me a lot of Sonoma with the elevation changes. And the tight technical turns. So it'll be interesting to see how the field handles that road course after being away for over a year. Because IndyCar's crazy. we all know how the drivers are, and it's going to be interesting to see because, like I said, Birmingham is a very underrated road course in my opinion.
Mhm.
Maybe, just maybe, Pato can get a little bit of good luck on his side this weekend.
Wasn't it there last year that things got a little bit heated between Alexander Rossi and Roman Grosjean?
Maybe I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't remember. Um, I am not sure about that, but it'll be a good race on Sunday with IndyCar at Alabama, and this leads into the best month of the year, the month of May. Busy
Best
month ahead.
racing month.
Oh my gosh,
My
it's
birthday's in May. That's why it's the best, bro.
yeah, exactly. That's
Don't get it mixed
exactly
up.
why.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
why all
we
the races are in May. It's because your birthday.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
we got a lot of crown jewel events in the month of May. We have I mean they're pretty much all on the same day. We got the Grand Prix of Monaco, Indy 500, and the Coca-Cola 600, which I am so excited for, but that is literally a month away. Um, and we have the All-Star race from North Wilkesboro the week before the Coke 600. So that's going to be a race to look forward to.
Less than a
But we
month away. Cup cars at
it's
North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, and
never.
I didn't last time I was in town, I didn't get a chance to go by the track, but I have seen a lot of the pictures and man, it does look good. Have you all seen the pictures?
I
I've
have. I've been watching the
seen,
videos.
yeah, I've seen the pictures and I've seen the videos of the Cup cars testing uh, from North Wilkesboro, and it looks good. It looks really
It
good.
really does.
And from what it sounds like, the drivers are happy with the tire that Goodyear has brought to North Wilkesboro, which never would have thought that they would have said last year, considering how many tire issues there were last year with Cup just Cup. Um, so it'll be interesting to see how the tire that Goodyear brings will handle at North Wilkesboro, let alone the Cup cars with the new short track package there.
Yeah, totally. And just generally speaking, I just want to see cup cars at North Wilkesboro again. It's been what, since 96? So 27
At
years.
at least since '96.
I think it was 94, wasn't it?
Oh, it's 96.
It was not '94. Only reason I know is because Jeff Gordon won the last points race
You know what I'm
there.
thinking? You know what? Yeah, it was last in 96. I'm thinking 94 because of the Brickyard. That was the first year of the Brickyard.
Yeah.
And Gordon won
Yep.
both races, so it throws my brain off a little bit in those years.
You know, did they say they're bringing back the Brickyard this year, or am I just crazy?
There is a
Not yet.
possibility that it will be returning for next year.
I'm not completely crazy then.
It's time
So,
they bring it back next year.
yep.
I'm not even looking for I'm not looking forward to the Indy Road Course whatsoever.
Nope.
So
Nope.
I love road courses, but that racetrack wasn't very good for NASCAR
It still
because I
isn't.
still remember that curb coming up and taking out like half the field.
That was so funny.
That
do you
really
think
was.
do you think the track would race a little bit better if it was put on the schedule, say like if they had made the switch, say 15 years ago, when drivers were a little bit more respectful of each other and there was more etiquette? Do you think we would see the racetrack be more successful, or do you think it's not a NASCAR racetrack when you
Nah,
get in the infield?
It's
because nah,
it's not a
because
NASCAR racetrack.
like, okay, when you say way back when, how far back are you saying? Are you saying in Dale's era or right after that?
I mean, you could say like right at the tail end, like late 90s, early 2000s sort of era.
Nah. Old Dale would be there. Nah.
Jacob, what are your
there's
thoughts?
I remember hearing stories about how he was wanting, Dale Earnhardt was wanting to do 24 hours of Le Mans in either 2001 or 2002. Of course, sadly, he never got to do it, but I can just imagine him just spinning, right hooking or left hooking even some French guy driving a Renault named Pierre because he looked at him funny.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
He would not get along with the FIA at all.
No. Oh God, no.
It'd be a disaster.
Yeah, I don't think that the Indy Road Course should be on the schedule at all.
Yeah.
It's not a cup racetrack. It's great for IndyCar, but they have 25 cars in their field, whereas we have 40 heavy stock cars, and IndyCar is like what, half the weight a Cup car is, right
They
around
got
there.
better brakes too.
Yeah, so the Indy Road Course is just not meant for a heavy stock car. Like I said, it's great for IndyCar, but the oval is just so much better for the Cup Series. And even with the 550 package and the 2019-2020 races, it was actually not that bad because those were some pretty good races with the 550 package at the Brickyard. Now, granted, they had a couple tire issues, but nothing like the 2008 Brickyard 400.
Yeah, that race, that was bad. Those tire issues were real bad.
Well, you know what's
Yeah.
funny is that I actually rewatched that race this morning. So I'm just like, oh my gosh.
There you have it, everybody. Jacob's a sucker for pain.
Masochistic.
I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm used to it.
Could be worse. You could be a Toronto Maple Leafs fan.
Oof.
Or a Dallas Cowboys fan.
Yeah, them too. So yeah, where were we? We were talking about IndyCar.
Speaking
Speaking
of pain.
of pain, Motorsports Game CEO resigned last week.
That was a good segue. Speaking of pain, motorsports, right?
Yeah, so Motorsports Games is not doing too hot right now. Not that they have been in the past 3, 4, 5 years. Their CEO just resigned last week.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, honestly?
I don't know.
Probably a combination.
It's probably both because they're just they're not in a good spot right now with their upcoming projects and in their NASCAR projects from the past, such as NASCAR 21. So it's not good, period.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I wonder if this could mean the IndyCar game is canceled.
I hope not.
Yeah, because we need another
looking forward.
IndyCar game.
I was really looking forward to a new IndyCar game, and we need one.
Yeah. It's been a long time since there's been a legitimate sort of IndyCar game. Like I know they were on iRacing for a while, but like there hasn't been a legitimate IndyCar game since like 2005. It feels like.
At least.
I think so. And that was IRL series. I don't know if CART ever had one.
I'm not sure. And to what you just said, Mason, is that iRacing and IndyCar don't get along as well as they used to anymore.
No.
So
CART did actually have a racing game. It was called Fury Championship Racing in 2000. And they also had little arcade machines for it too. That's crazy. So they had like arcade machines with like the steering wheel, and then it was a PS2 game back in 2000. CART Fury Championship Racing.
A bunch of guys that are retired now.
Yeah.
I was going to say the two photos on Google are Mark Blundell and Michael Andretti.
I remember
There you
Michael
go.
Andretti's last race, or last race he won. That was at Long Beach. That was just a perfect race.
Perfect storm. So yeah, motorsports games not in a good spot. Like I said, they haven't been in 5-ish years or so. So I really hope that this is not the end of the IndyCar project, because we really don't have IndyCar on iRacing anymore, and that's the closest thing we can get to a game for IndyCar. We can still purchase IndyCar and the tracks on iRacing, but they no longer support like the NASCAR E Series, and you used to be able to do the Indy 500 and compete for actual prize money through iRacing, but you can't do that anymore this starting this year, which is a crying shame, because Indy cars are awesome to drive on iRacing, especially at Indy.
Yeah, I think the only thing that we even have close to it is that's not fan made content is the DLC pack for Automobilista 2, and that I haven't played it, but I think that's just generic Indy cars, not really licensed by anything.
Yeah,
But
they're in Project Cars too.
yeah, that was like I think 2017 season.
Mhm.
And
I do know that they have IndyCar and Forza 10, but that's like 10 years old now.
you can get IndyCar in mods for Assetto Corsa, the current chassis on Assetto
Yeah.
Corsa. That's fun. That's actually pretty fun to drive too.
So
But
hopefully,
you,
like we said, hopefully the IndyCar project is not canceled. It's been what we say, 20 years or so since we got an IndyCar game.
like a
18.
fully dedicated IndyCar
Yeah.
game, just about.
Just I don't know how to feel about this, because this could be the Jeopardy or the future state of NASCAR games as well on the line. But we have heard rumors of EA picking it back up, but I don't see it happening for at least 3 years if it does happen.
Yeah, we're gonna be waiting a little while, and it's gonna kind of feel similar to, if you remember. I mean, like when NASCAR '09 dropped, and then there was the whole EA debacle, and then nobody really knew it was gonna happen. Like NASCAR 21 was a big deal. It'd been like only just a couple of years, but that was a big deal when it came back. Because for the last 20 something years, we've had a NASCAR game almost every single year
Mm-hmm.
since 1994, you could say. So it would be very strange for NASCAR to lose that. And I talked about it before the show. Somebody on Twitter said that EA Sports would have interest if NASCAR got out of the Motorsports Games deal, but their deal with Motorsport Games has been so bad, like everybody's running away from it. So there's hope, but it's very slim. And as much as I know a lot of people say, like, don't give the license to EA, they will make something better than we've had in a while. There will be issues, yes. That's with any video game, because we're humans. We're going to find things to complain about. That's just the way the world works. Like, look at the comment section after a great race. Watch what people are saying.
Mm-hmm.
People are going to find things to complain about. So I think it's just, we deserve a good NASCAR video game. We deserve a good IndyCar video game. How long till we get it, though? That's the question.
I mean, too, going back to NASCAR and EA Sports, that's where some of the greats came from, like NASCAR Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
dude, NASCAR Thunder 2023.
Yeah,
bring it out.
I mean, why not? Except for
We can
the
have-
legal agreements. That's a
Yeah.
good reason. But then what about a EA Sports IndyCar game?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be cool.
I think it'd be fun. They've never dabbled into the IndyCar sort of thing before, and they have. They have F1 now, so I think that they definitely could get into the IndyCar game scene.
They used to have F1 as well until like 2004, I think. And those F1 games are pretty good that they put out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the original IndyCar games back in the day, they were actually made by Codemasters.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
So like IndyCar Series 2005, which is the most recent game, was made by Codemasters. Their name is on the box.
Well, the more you know. All right, guys, so real quick to wrap up this part. If you guys have ever heard of a little someone named Frankie Muniz.
Malcolm.
He is our current ARCA points leader after a 9th place finish at Talladega. He's always been interested in racing, so good for him.
That's really cool.
Yeah, this is awesome. He's a legitimate contender for this championship, and that's very, very cool.
He's going to pull a Paul Newman.
Hey, you never know.
Watch him win Le Mans now.
Oh boy. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting to watch throughout the rest of the ARCA season. Frankie Muniz is our current ARCA points leader. Something I thought I'd never say 5 years ago, but you know what? I am here for it. We need more people like him.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And he is loving it himself.
He's always been into racing his entire life. So I am all here for it.
Like, who knew, though? Watching Disney Channel and hearing Frankie Muniz 20 years later. Oh, he's leading ARCA standings right now.
He's still acting. Like, he still has he appeared in an episode of New Amsterdam last year. Like, he's still doing that too. He was in a music video for the artist Hanson last year as well.
This guy being busy.
He's keeping himself busy. What can you say? And he's had great results so far in the ARCA Menard series, 11th, 6th, and 9th. It's a lot to be proud of.
6th and 9th.
Nice.
Nice. So, good for him.
If you want some more nice stuff, join us again on Thursday evening for more Racing Ball Z.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So, it's going to be the end of this part. So, make sure you guys tune in to Thursday for part 2 for our Talladega discussion episode. So, we will see you guys on the next part of the Outside Line. Hope you guys enjoyed this part. And we will see you guys back here on Thursday. And whether you're listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube, whatever you are, wherever you are, just give us a follow, subscribe, whatever. And follow us on our socials. We're not going to go too deep into that until the next part. But we hope you guys enjoyed this part. We will see you guys for our Talladega discussion episode. See you guys here on Thursday.
Have fun. Make new friends.
Buenos nachos.